Around the world, food is more than survival. It's identity, memory, and emotion. But what happens when a beloved dish from one culture becomes nightmare fuel in another? From fermented fish heads to wriggling larvae, these aren't your average meals. They challenge not only the stomach, but the soul. Welcome back to Watchers of the Unknown, where we explore the world's strangest truths. Today, we dive into 10 of the most disgusting, revolting, and absolutely fascinating foods that people genuinely eat and even love. Ready to test your limits? Let's begin. 1. Marzu, Sardinia, Italy. On the Italian island of Sardinia, cheese isn't just fermented, it's alive. Marzu, or rotten cheese, starts as regular pecorino, but once it ripens, locals intentionally introduce cheese fly larvae, which break down the fats into a soft, almost liquid interior. It's considered the ultimate in dairy intensity. The flavor is rich, pungent, and has a lingering acidic bite. But here's the twist. You're supposed to eat it with the maggots still moving. Some cover the cheese with a hand to stop the larva from jumping. Others scoop and eat as is, maggots wriggling across the fork. Though banned from commercial sale by the EU, Marzu survives through local black markets and family gatherings. To outsiders, it's disgusting. To Sardinians, it's a symbol of tradition and a challenge of culinary courage. You don't eat Marzu because you're hungry. You eat it because you dare. 2. Surströmming, Sweden. In northern Sweden, spring brings a special event, surströmming season. But don't expect picnics in flower fields. Expect fermented fish that smells like death. Surströmming is made from Baltic herring, lightly salted and then fermented in cans for months, sometimes even fermenting further after purchase. When you open it, be warned, the smell is so strong that most people do it outdoors and YouTubers film their first reaction with buckets nearby. But here's the mystery. Once you get past the scent, locals say the flavor is surprisingly delicate. It's eaten with flatbread, potatoes, sour cream, and onions. For Swedes, it's about community, heritage, and acquired taste. To enjoy surströmming, you must first unlearn everything you thought you knew about fish. 3. Balut, Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia. A popular street food across Southeast Asia. Balut is a fertilized duck egg that's been incubated for about 14 to 21 days, just enough time for the embryo to partially develop. Crack it open and you'll find veins, feathers, beak, and sometimes a fully formed baby duck. It's eaten warm, straight from the shell, with a sprinkle of salt or vinegar. Locals describe it as savory, with the broth inside being the best part, like rich duck soup in an egg. For many Filipinos, balut is comfort food, a late-night snack, and a symbol of Filipino strength. But for the uninitiated, the texture, crunch of bone, softness of yolk, the mental hurdle, is overwhelming. They say balut is all in your mind, but your stomach might disagree. 4. Tuna eyeballs, Japan. Imagine going to a market in Tokyo and seeing a plastic tray with 2 massive, bloodshot eyeballs staring back at you. These are tuna eyeballs, a cheap delicacy often discarded during commercial tuna processing, but loved by chefs for their flavor and nutrition. They're boiled, seasoned with soy sauce, and served whole. The texture is gelatinous. The flavor? Meaty, fishy, and oddly satisfying for those who dare. What you're eating includes not only the eyeball itself, but also the optic nerve, muscle tissues, and retina. In Japan, it's not just about being weird, it's about respect. Eating all parts of the fish is considered responsible and waste-free. It looks you in the eye before you eat it. 5. Kiviak, Greenland, Inuit culture. High above the Arctic Circle, food preservation isn't a choice, it's survival. Kiviak is made by stuffing a whole sealskin with up to 500 small birds, auks, feathers and all. The skin is sealed, weighted with stones, and buried under cold rocks for months, where the birds slowly ferment. When opened, the inside is a soft, oily paste. The smell? Fermented meat and marine funk. Though shocking to outsiders, it's a vital tradition for Inuit communities, a source of fat, protein, and culture. It's often eaten raw during celebrations, honoring ancestors, survival, and deep Arctic identity. You don't eat kiviak for taste. You eat it to remember where you come from. 6. Stinkheads, Alaska, USA. Among the Yupik people of Alaska, another fermented favorite is known, somewhat ominously, as stinkheads. It's exactly what it sounds like. Salmon heads left to rot underground in pits lined with leaves and moss. After a few weeks, they are mashed into a pungent paste. The smell can clear a room. The texture is like fish yogurt. But to the Yupik, this isn't about gross-out factor. It's tradition, passed down through generations. Some communities have moved away from the dish due to modern health codes. But for elders, stinkheads still represent a bond with ancestors. It stinks, yes, but so does cheese. This is our cheese. 7. Hakkarl, Iceland. In Iceland, hakkarl is more than a food. It's a rite of passage. It's made from Greenland shark, which is toxic when fresh due to high urea content. To remove the toxins, the meat is buried underground for months, then hung to dry in open sheds. The final product? A chewy cube of yellow-white flesh that smells like ammonia and dead animal. The taste is equally brutal. First-timers are told to chase it with a shot of Brennivin, Icelandic schnapps, nicknamed Black Death. Icelanders embrace hakkarl as a symbol of survival and national pride. If you can handle it, you've passed the Iceland test. When you eat hakkarl, Iceland eats you back. 8. Witchetty grub, Aboriginal Australia. In the Australian outback, witchetty grubs are sacred, not gross. These large white larvae are rich in fat, protein, and water, a vital survival food for Indigenous Australians. They can be eaten raw with a creamy texture or roasted over coals until the skin crisps and the inside turns like scrambled egg. To outsiders, the wriggling, bulbous shape is terrifying. But in Aboriginal culture, grubs are not insects. They are connection, knowledge, and earth. It's not about taste. It's about respecting the land that feeds you. 9. Century egg, China. Also called the 1,000-year egg, century eggs are preserved in a mixture of clay, ash, and alkaline salts for several weeks or months. The result, a black, jelly-like egg white with a green-gray yolk and a sulfur-rich, ammonia-like aroma. It looked spoiled, but it's perfectly edible. In fact, it's a delicacy, often served with tofu or congee. In Chinese medicine, it's said to be cooling, balancing the body's energy. It's not rotten, it's reborn. 10. Esquimoles, Mexico. In central Mexico, a delicacy lies hidden in the roots of the agave plant, esquimoles, or ant larvae. Harvested carefully, these insect caviar are buttery, nutty, and often sautéed with garlic and chili. They're served in tacos or with tortillas and prized not only for their flavor, but for their high nutritional value. While the idea may bug some people, esquimoles are deeply rooted in pre-Hispanic tradition and a sustainable protein of the future. Not every treasure is found in gold. Some crawl. Disgust isn't universal, it's cultural. What makes one person gag might be another's grandmother's recipe. These foods challenge our ideas about what's normal and invite us to look deeper into the roots of culture, survival, and taste. Which of these dishes shocked you the most? Would you try any of them? Or have you already? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want more weird, wild, and wonderful truths from around the world, make sure to subscribe to Watchers of the Unknown. Until next time, stay curious and maybe a little hungry.